Inside the tomb, there is the stillness of a cold, lifeless body. Then, without warning, omnipotent power surges into the limbs and organs, and there's movement, a jolt of life, resurrection. Death has lost its prey and its sting. Jesus is alive. The pivotal and defining moment in all of history has just happened. As of yet, no one knows that there has been a resurrection, and no one can fathom all that it means. But that's just about to change. We read about it in Mark 16, 1 through 8. It tells us that very early, the first day of the week, 3 women go to the tomb. And as they walked along, they were saying to one another, "Who will roll away the stone for us from the entrance of the tomb?" When they got closer, they saw that the large stone had been rolled back. This was surely concerning and puzzling at the same time. But whether they were cautious or curious, they entered the tomb. And there they saw a young man sitting on the right side. He was dressed in a white robe, and they were alarmed. This angel said to them, "Do not be alarmed. You seek Jesus of Nazareth, who was crucified. He is risen. He is not here. See the place where they laid him? But go tell his disciples and Peter that he is going ahead to Galilee. There you will see him, just as he told you." And trembling, they went out and fled the tomb. The resurrection is a central proclamation of the church. In fact, to be a Christian is to believe in resurrection, Christ's and our own. The earliest Christians did not just endorse Jesus' teachings. They were convinced that they had seen him after his crucifixion. That's what changed their lives and started the church. Resurrection is essential for the completion of Christ's work. On the cross, Christ suffered and died to take away our condemnation and provide the forgiveness of sins, to free us from the slavery of sin and reconcile us to God, to deliver the world from this present evil age. The resurrection displays God's power of putting all this into effect. If there's no resurrection, there's not a living Christ. And if Christ is not raised from the dead, then everything unravels. If Christ is not risen, our faith is in vain because death would have power over him. All we're doing is wandering around in the dark, as lost as ever. That would make us a most miserable lot of people. But the truth is, Christ has been raised. Jesus arose from the dead and was seen by over 500 witnesses. In the authority of his own power, Jesus rose from the dead and set the accomplishments of the cross into motion. Listen to John 10, 17 through 18. "The reason my Father loves me is that I lay down my life, only to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down on my own accord. I have authority to lay it down and authority to take it up again. This command I received from my Father." Now, let's consider our key spiritual insight. The resurrection power of Christ continues to be active in our lives. The power that brought Christ back to life gives power to our lives. Look at the anger in your life. How is that going to be turned into self-control and peace? Look at the self-centeredness in your life. How is that going to be turned into compassion and generosity? Look at the emptiness and the deadness. How are you going to be made fully alive? The answer is the resurrection power of Christ. The same power that raised him from the dead is alive and active within us. It's active to save us and transform us into his likeness. It changes the broken pieces of our lives into something beautiful. It frees us from the anger, self-centeredness, and emptiness. Through the power of the resurrection, we are found in Christ. His righteousness becomes our righteousness. His life becomes our life, and His inheritance becomes our inheritance. In this age, we now have a life filled with hope and renewal. In the coming age, we have a future of immeasurable good, including a future in heaven beyond the reach of change and decay. Our lives expand and deepen by the means of His resurrection life. And that, my friends, are words of hope.